Yo, what's up everyone, Kevin here. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about 5 brand new snowboards that are coming out for the 2024 season. At the moment, I'm getting ready for the upcoming season and trying to look at all the new snowboards, what gear is coming out, and I found 5 boards I'm really excited to check out. They're all very different from different brands, and each one really brings something new to snowboarding. So I'm excited to share these boards with you guys. The first board I want to talk to you guys about is the Capita Aeronaut. The Aeronaut is Arthur Longo's pro model snowboard, and if you've seen Arthur Longo ride, you know that he likes to do natural features, go big off of just things he finds around the resort and in the Alpine. So a board that's really going to excel in those natural features. The Aeronaut is directional, with most of the camber towards the tail, so giving you a lot of stability on landings, but also with that camber in the tail, giving you lots of energy to really ride out a hard turn or to ollie up into the air and get some height on those natural features. The Aeronaut's going to do pretty decent in powder too, with a slight taper and setback stance. The other standout about the Aeronaut is the artwork is all done by Arthur Longo, so it's got that real personal touch to it. And if anyone speaks French, it'd be awesome to get a translation of what's written on the board. So if you're looking for a board that you can really take anywhere on the mountain and add some freestyle elements into your riding as well, then the Capita Aeronaut could be the one. The next brand new snowboard for 2024 is the Libtech Off Ramp. This board first came onto my radar because this past summer at High Cascade Snowboard Camp, almost every camper and coach was riding this board. It's a board that is a mid-flex, so pretty universal in the park. If you're an intermediate to advanced rider, I think this is going to be a really fun park board. It's got Libtech's C3 profile, so a profile that is a bit more camber dominant, that mellows out a bit between the feet. So not like overly aggressive, but not too mellow as well with that C3. And if you're an East Coast rider or if you're riding a lot of ice, the Libtech boards have magnet traction, so giving you that grip on firmer icy snow. So the off ramp is definitely on my radar just because it seems like that park board that does everything well inside the park, and it also has a pretty funky throwback retro graphic to it as well. So a fun park board by Libtech, and I think one that's going to be super popular this upcoming season. The next brand new board on my list is the Battalion Cruiser Plus. This board is brand new for the season as well, and this is part of Battalion's Plus series. If you guys don't know about the Plus series, is basically Battalion is taking some of their popular boards and giving them a faster base, a lighter core, and adding in some carbon to places on the board, giving it that pop and also responsiveness. So the Cruiser is definitely an all-mountain freeride board, and the Cruiser does have a taper, so a larger nose and smaller tail, helping it to float super well through the snow. And if you're familiar with Battalion boards, you know that they're ahead of the game with the 3D tech. So Battalion, all their boards have the triple base technology. So basically in the nose and the tail, you get Libtech's 3BT, really allowing the board to cruise effortlessly between your heel and toe turns, especially in powder, just giving you that smooth transition and also making it a very catch-free board. So for me, in the past, I haven't really gravitated towards Battalion boards for freeride just because I like stiffer boards, but because they've made this one into the Plus version, it's really sparked my interest. So a more aggressive, a bit more stiffer and faster riding board, matching that with Battalion's tech that's really smooth and fun to ride. I think that the Cruiser Plus could be my POW board for this upcoming season. The next board on my list is a Jones board, and it's the Hovercraft 2.0. And this is actually a new version of the Hovercraft. So if you're familiar with the Hovercraft, it's one of Jones's most popular snowboards. In a lot of the videos with Jeremy Jones, he mentions that this is actually a board that he rides most often. If you're familiar with his style of riding, it's a lot of big lines, big alpine riding. Really, the Hovercraft is made to do that. It's got a really big side cut. So if you're riding down a face or riding in an open bowl, it's gonna float well and take you on big lines through the mountains. And the Hovercraft 2.0 is like the evolution of that board. They've added in more 3D to the nose. So the nose in the old Hovercraft, it did have that 3D kind of spoon shape, giving you that effortless cruise between your heel and toe. And in the 2.0 version, the 3D in the nose is even more exaggerated. So that's gonna be really fun to check out. But the biggest thing in the Hovercraft 2.0 is they've added in 3D contours in the tail. So they've changed the shape of the tail slightly. They've actually made it a bit of a deeper swallowtail, so it's notched out a little bit more. But they've also added in 3D contours, kind of taking out some of the material from underneath the board and creating these contours that I think the idea is that it's going to, as your board's gliding, it's going to glide better and faster through POW because of those 3D contours kind of breaking up the snow, releasing some of that friction. So that'll be something that's really fun to test out and kind of feel out for myself. So this is on my short list of boards I want to pick up this coming season. And this version of the Hovercraft might be pushing snowboarding more towards those 3D shapes. So really excited to check this board out. It looks amazing and a really interesting one and fun one by Jones. So the final board I wanted to talk about is the K2 Hypnotist. So the Hypnotist is brand new for this upcoming season. Last year I rode 2 K2 snowboards and I was really impressed with both. I had the K2 After Black for the park and I had the K2 Excavator for POW riding. And the Hypnotist seems like a pretty advanced level park snowboard. So if you're into the park and you're looking for that board that's gonna be great on big jumps, big rails, and riding with a lot of speed and possibly even through the half pipe, the Hypnotist, I think that's where it's really gonna excel. But the thing that stands out the most about the Hypnotist is the amount of carbon in this snowboard. First, they've added K2 what they call their dark web, which is carbon that runs from under your foot towards the edges of the board, giving you more response when you're going from edge to edge. So that's a really interesting one. But also carbon that runs the whole length of the board, giving you that much more energy for getting ollies or nollies. So I'm sure that's gonna make the board feel very energetic and lively. The Hypnotist also has what K2 calls space glass in the nose and tail, helping to dampen the board, so making it less chattery, and also reducing the weight of the tips. So if you're going for a spin, it's gonna spin a bit faster, having that less weight in the nose and tail. On top of that, this board also has some really cool and fun artwork. So overall, the Hypnotist just looks like the complete package, advanced park level board, something that's on my short list for sure. So those are 5 brand new snowboards that are coming out this season. I'll put links to all these boards in the description if you guys want to check them out. If you have any questions about these boards, hit me up in the comments. It'd be great to hear from you guys as well, what boards you're excited for this upcoming season. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp, and I'll see you in the next video soon.